You thought I fell off? You're smoking something.
Hello and welcome to Sports Tips UK. I'm Marcus J. Richardson.
And I'm Adam Thorn.
Today we're going to tell you a little bit about the show on February the 10th for Hellraiser Boxing.
Yes, we are.
Well, Adam is a big fixture and fitting at Hellraiser, and we obviously shoot Hellraiser's content for Channel 4, so we're all quite familiar with it, so we thought we'd give you a little bit of an introduction into what's going on the Saturday. So tell us, Adam, what are the big fights on the night?
Well, the big fight, oh, for fuck's sake, it's just completely gone from my mind.
Fantastic! So much, you know, so much about Hellraiser.
No, it's not the fight. I know what the fight is. It's the word you call it. What's the fight? Top of the bill.
Top of the bill! Top of the bill! Top of the bill!
The big fight is Philip Bowes. Now,
Phil Bowes is back.
Phil Bowes is back. Bowes 2.0. Quicksilver.
Because he has changed his stance and changed his...
He's been trying to add a more front foot game.
Has he changed trainer as well?
No, he's still with Barry Smithkey, and he's now managed and promoted by Hellraiser.
I see.
So he's a full Hellraiser now. He's also a Team Southpaw Jab member.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
okay, great.
Yeah.
If you haven't yet, do check out that. Steve, stop doing that. Stop it. Sorry, cat trouble. If you haven't listened to it yet, do check out the Southpaw Jab podcast. As you can see, the sponsor down there. Not really a sponsor. Partnership. Partnership. We've got a little partnership with Southpaw Jab, which Adam is one of the progenitors. He's one of the progenitors. Adam is one of the presenters on the Southpaw Jab podcast with Chris Wadhams. Do check it out. Anything you want to say to the audience about listening to it, watching it, playing it?
It's on Audio Boom. Southpaw Jab podcast. It's me, Chris Wadhams.
You're on Facebook? What's your Facebook page?
Just Southpaw Jab.
Facebook.com/Southpaw Jab.
And then Twitter, Southpaw Jab as well.
And they can find the links to the podcast there, I assume.
Yeah. It all goes out on there. Do give us a like on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Chris is big. We've got a good team of fighters. Just signed a female fighter to be part of Team Southpaw Jab.
What other Hellraiser boxers have you got other than Phil Bowes on there? Is Phil Bowes the only Hellraiser boxer?
No, Daryl Williams, Josh EJAKPOVI.
Okay.
Got a few.
And are any of those guys fighting on the night?
Josh is another one on there.
So we'll get to Josh in a minute, but let's go back to Phil Bowes' fight.
So Phil Bowes, as you know, had the English title fight last May. He was very unlucky.
I mean, that was one hell of a fight, that.
You really enjoyed it. Being friendly with Phil and being not a fan of Glenn Foot, shall we say politely. I appreciate that he's effective in what he does, but he's just an awkward fighter. And
Phil Bowes did hold his own in that fight, though.
Oh, very much so. He did.
And he also fought. Maybe this was the problem. The way that Glenn Foot fought, Phil Bowes tried to match that. He got a little bit dirty as well at times.
They did get dirty. They were both holding.
Don't get me wrong. Yeah, I would have done the same as Philip. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's one of those things. Maybe that didn't work in his favour, and maybe should have stuck to his own.
Yeah,
game
I mean,
plan.
where Phil lost the fight was he didn't press home his advantages. He was leading him, suckering him into attacks, and then not countering those attacks. So he wasn't getting hit, but he wasn't scoring shots.
Yeah,
and that's why he's trying to add this more aggressive game, which is great. It's good to see. We saw
more aggressive in terms of style, not in terms of not like Mike Tyson.
No. Just in terms of throwing punches and being more. And you've met Phil. He's a lovely bloke, but he has got an edge to him.
Of course,
I wouldn't want to piss Phil off in a million years.
Phil is not a Daniel Dubois type person. You know what I mean? Like they are two.
I wouldn't fuck with Phil. I wouldn't fuck with Daniel either. Phil's a lovely bloke, but even himself, he admitted he's got a bit of an aggressive side to his personality, and he wanted to bring that into his boxing, which is great. Now look, Phil's 33. He knows he's had 3 defeats. He's unlucky in all of them. He's got a shot to do something here, and he's grabbed it. He was given the choice. He could have had this fight take more risk. It costs more money. They've got to sell more tickets to get the bigger fights.
Was it 10 rounds?
It's 10 rounder. Yeah.
And what's it? An eliminator for what?
It's an eliminator for the Commonwealth title, super lightweight title, currently held by Josh Taylor. But Josh Taylor, I think, will probably have vacated by the time Phil gets up there. Even if he's not, Phil will take that fight, I think.
Did you think he'd do well against Josh Taylor?
I think he would, yeah. He's a slippery guy, Phil. He's a very slick boxer.
What happened to Glenn Foot, by the way, after that?
He lost the title to Reedy.
Straight away?
He defended it once, I think, and then lost it to a guy called Reedy.
Okay, so you think Phil Bowes is going to win this and go on and...
well, so he's fighting a guy called Vusumzi Tiatieka from South Africa. Very hard guy. He's got 20 wins, 15 knockouts, 5 defeats. He's a bit of an unknown quantity. You can't even find his stance, his height, anything like that on BoxRec. There's no videos of him on YouTube. Phil's fighting the unknown. This guy could come over and be brilliant, or he could come over and be poo. Chances are he's going to be pretty good. Okay. He's not going to be getting...
he's fighting 10 rounds as well.
Yeah, and the Commonwealth wouldn't have given him the shot.
Of course.
The Commonwealth wouldn't have given him the shot if they hadn't seen, obviously they're going to know what he's about.
Yeah.
Now, Phil doesn't know what he's about, so Phil's preparing for the absolute best guy that's coming in. That's going to be a cracking fight.
Okay.
That's going to be a really good fight. I'm looking forward to
that. And that's top of the bill.
That's top of the bill. Then you've got 2...
Steve's bum.
Steve's fucking fanny in my face.
Just resting a bum on the back of your neck there, Adam. That's what cats do, right?
Tony Milch is back.
Yeah.
The Milch is back, obviously very disappointed to lose last time, but he admits the better man on the night one.
As much as we were rooting for Tony Milch in that fight, to be fair, Matt McCarthy, he
put on a very
strong.
very good display, and I know he got Matt now. I know you watched these because you got annoyed by what I said in it, and I mean, look, Tony's our guy. I was always going to be rooting for Tony. I didn't know Matt McCarthy that well. I'd only seen him on YouTube.
Yeah.
I had, tons of knowledge about Tony. So I was going on what I knew rather than taking a bet on something I didn't. I was wrong. Matt McCarthy put on a brilliant show. Fair enough. I wasn't trying to slag him off. I was just saying I thought Tony...
Well, no, look, at the end of the day, you can only work with the information you've got. And at the time, you didn't have... But now we do know... Well, I mean, what's happened with Matt? He's
fighting Billy Boy Bird.
When's that?
On the MTK London...
Scotland.
No, the London one, which is actually in Brentwood in Essex. I think March or later in February. I think it might be the week after, actually.
Okay.
I think Tony... We saw Tony yesterday. He's going to try and go to that. Him and Matt McCarthy have swapped some nice messages on Facebook. Matt's been very magnanimous in victory, wishing Tony all the best.
Oh, good on him.
Tony's changed trainers. He's been trying to add a bit more movement to his game. He's got very solid defence. Is
Tony fighting anyone of any decency?
He's fighting a very good level journeyman, basically. A very good level opponent in Danny Little, who fought Konrad Stempkowski, one of our other fighters. Stempkowski.
Isn't that Stempkowski?
No, Stempkowski. Spelled the K.
Okay.
So Stempkowski, and if he had a sister, it would be Stempkowska. Well, just giving you some... Just educating. It's not going to be on this. Cutting room floor. Anyway, Tony will be fighting Danny Little, we think, at the moment. I think these things might change. I'm expecting a very good performance from Tony Milch. He's really training hard. Sparring Sam McNess.
Where does Tony go from here now? Like, is there a path to any...
I spoke to him and his new trainer, Josh, last week. They quite realistic. They'd like to get another shot at the Southern area. They did, and that didn't go their way. Tony might think again. Tony's definitely good enough to win the Southern area title.
Look, this is what's frustrating. I've seen Tony, knock a couple of fights ago, he knocked someone out, and it was like, whoa, here we go. I want to see more of that from him. I want to see more of that from him. I think when he fought Matt McCarthy, he seemed a little bit
hesitant.
Just hold him back. Obviously, you don't want to go in and leave yourself exposed. In my opinion, I think it's better to gamble and get knocked out.
Well, I think that's what he's doing is, again, he's used the word spiteful, a lot like Philip Bowes did. He's going to try and add that to his game. So that's going to be exciting to see. So keep an eye out for the Tony Milch fight. Yeah. Another returning guy that was unlucky in a bid for title, Commonwealth title, Cruiserweight title, Rockin' Robin DuPre. He hates me calling him Rockin' Robin.
He was unlucky in that last fight.
He was very unlucky.
He was much bigger than him.
Yeah.
Like, he was unlucky.
Yeah, and again, another guy who's a very nice bloke, Robin, just full of praise for Luke Watkins, wishes him all the best. Steve.
Jesus, that was my nuts.
What, down by your knees?
No, carry on.
He knows he was unlucky in that fight. He was out boxing brilliantly, but he got caught by the bigger guy, and he wasn't firing
Before we
back.
go on, talk to me about his weight situation, because he seems almost like he could probably drop a weight.
I think
he's very effective a weight lower.
He is trying to drop a weight. He's fought up at heavyweight as an amateur. He'd ideally like to get down to light heavy, but he has a few issues with his weight that people look and they just think it's laziness. It's not sloth. Yeah. I can assure you, he's working hard to bring that weight down. As you know, it's not the same for everyone. Not everybody can just drop weight.
Of course.
And Robin is not one of those people, and so he has to work extra hard to do so, and he is.
Because
and
so he's a good fighter.
He's an excellent boxer.
It feels like he's almost fighting in a weight too heavy for him, and therefore he's fighting an uphill battle. I mean, I've seen him defeat people much bigger than him.
Oh yeah, he can outbox people, and he was outboxing Luke Watkins for that thing. I mean, that's boxing. That's why you've got the knockout rule. You can be being beat on the cards and go and stop someone, and that's what he didn't get knocked out, as he pointed out to me. He got stopped. Yeah. He was very clear about that, Robin.
Which technically is what happened to Tony Milch.
Yeah, he was stopped.
McCarthy wasn't knocked out.
It was a stoppage.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, knocked out. It's obviously failing to beat the count.
So did DuPre? This is more of a bounce back fight, though. Really, it's not. It's not.
Yeah, I mean, but he's got a new trainer because his long-time trainer is severely ill with cancer, which is very upsetting.
I wish him all the best with that.
Yeah, certainly do. And of course, that's hard. That's been hard for him. That's another thing to contend
Horrible.
with. But he's got a new trainer who seems very happy with. He says he's being pressure put to him. Robin wants to get out and fight more this year and bring his weight down with each fight. Okay. Now that would be great. That would be a brilliant 2018 for Robin to get out 6 times, once every 2 months, drop his weight each time, and
just
then
go into the 6 rounders. Really.
Just get 6 rounders under his belt. Go for a title. Quite frankly, he's good enough to win a Southern Area Cruiserweight title.
Oh, easy.
Wadi Camacho is Southern Area title. He's a Team Southpaw Jab member as well. Wadi, he's the current holder.
That would be a tough fight for you though, wouldn't it? Because you're good friends with Robin DUPRE, so
I am. Yeah, it would be weird because Chris is good friends with Waddy, and I get on well with Robin. So I don't know Waddy. I know that he's a good bloke because if he's mates with Chris.
Well, I've seen Waddy Camacho fight quite a lot because I used to cover a lot of the Goodwin sports nights, and Waddy Camacho again, he's one of those. For me, he's a little bit inconsistent, but he's capable. You know, he can bang, but
certainly,
you know, I've seen him get knocked down once, and it's one of those. It's boxing, though, isn't it?
Waddy is an exciting fighter in that he's got power, but he's also vulnerable.
Yeah,
Robin is a very technically gifted.
That's how I meant to put it. That's really well put it. Power but vulnerable. But yeah, go on.
That's why you pay me so much money to come here. I just look like I'm tweaking my nipples on
wow,
camera.
That's actually closer to what he gets.
I'm going to get a freeze frame of that text later on.
Definitely. I know. Steve's eyeing you up. Go on.
Yeah, she's going to fuck my jumper in a minute. Why did I say that? Waddy versus Robin actually would be a really good fight. I'd love to see that.
Possible fight end of this year if they both.
Yeah. If Waddy's still got the belt, that'd be great. Or if Robin has managed to get down to light heavy.
Is he still with Goodwin, Waddy Camacho?
Yes, yeah.
So I mean, might that be a difficult stumbling block with Hellraiser and Goodwin because obviously they put on their own night?
Yeah, I mean that would be an interesting fight. One would have to be the home fighter, one would have to be the away fighter. But you're both fighting at York Hall. It's not like it's unlikely to suddenly be down the south coast.
And they're both great nights. Hellraiser and Goodwin both put on fantastic nights.
Yeah. Very exciting.
I mean, to be fair, there's something you should all go and watch. You should all go and watch a Hellraiser night and all go and watch a Goodwin night because they're both fantastic shows, really worth a watch. Can't recommend them both highly enough. Carry on.
As small hall boxing goes,
Yeah, small hall boxing goes. They are probably the leaders, aren't they? Let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, MTK Global have got like almost a world countrywide brand of small hall.
MTK's like actually small hall though, isn't it? They're quite small.
Well, Brentwood Centre's huge.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. I think it's about 4,000 people or something.
Oh, really?
Like that. Yeah, it's quite big. But it's not York Hall. You speak to a fighter up in the north of England and they'll want to have fought in York Hall. It's London, and
it's the home of boxing.
You've seen the video where I said to the Mexicans, "Are you excited to fight in York Hall, the world famous York Hall?" Both went, "Where?" World famous, everybody. Never heard of it.
Well, that's fair enough. It's certainly not the Wembley of boxing, is it?
No.
Where is the Wembley of boxing?
Wembley.
Yeah, Wembley. Brilliant. And anyone else on the night that is?
Yeah, you got Hollywood Josh. He's back. He's looking for a big year. He's fighting a 6-rounder. Once you might not know this, you have to have fought a 6-rounder to be able to fight a title fight. So once they've done a 6-rounder, even if it's a knockout,
he's not done any 6-rounders yet.
Never done a 6-rounder. This will be his 10th fight, his first 6-rounder, Josh.
Right, okay.
So after that, he can push on for titles.
He should be moving up now. Really,
yeah, he's got to have a big year, Josh. He knows that, and he will. He's a brilliant boxer.
Start knocking some people out as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, like, he's got the same amount of knockouts as a senior did at his time.
Okay.
You run up a list of them, and then some of these guys that comes later in their career when they stop fighting the journey, when they start fighting the guys that come at them,
yeah,
they
that's
get more
when the
knockouts.
knockouts come, isn't it?
Yeah. So Josh, big year for him. Glacius Taru,
we like
warrior.
Glacius, don't we?
Glacius is. I love Glacius because he's not only is he an exciting bike.
There's some great interviews, by the way, on the Hellraiser YouTube channel. You should check them out. You've interviewed, but all the fighters.
Pretty much all the fighters on our show. I've interviewed the home side. I'm still getting around doing some, but yeah, I love Glacius because not only is he an exciting fighter to watch, he's so enthusiastic. He gets really excited about it. It's great. I love talking to people.
He's another nice guy as well.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy. He was listed in Boxing News, put him in their top sort of 20 people to watch out for in the world at the end of 2017. His name was right next to Anthony Yard.
Nice.
Now Glacius has been a pro. He's 24. He's been a pro a year. He's had 4 fights, and he's a small hall fighter. He's not one of the big boys.
He is good though. He's good.
Bloody good.
Yeah.
Big high.
And I'm looking forward to seeing him actually. Out of everybody on that night, he's the one I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. Well, he's going to be. As I say, I spoke to him today. He's gone vegan. He says he's punching harder, which I mean, he hits like a fucking mule. That's going to be exciting. He dropped an Olympian.
Well, the good thing I like about Glacius is he tends to end his fights a little bit earlier than everybody else, which makes my job easier when I'm editing it.
Anyway, so we've got Kian Thomas. Now, he's not a Hellraiser fighter.
Kian is another one we've seen a few times, though. And
yeah,
he is decent.
He's exciting. He only got out twice last year because he had a hand injury, but both times were impressive wins. Yeah. He's looking for another big year, 8-0, welterweight. He'll be pushing on, maybe English title by the end of the year.
I mean, the welterweight division is littered with talent, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that whole mid-range sort of...
You've got Larry Ackendale coming back as well. I mean, obviously he's not a Hellraiser fighter.
Yeah, he's on that MTK Global card as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting. Kian, I'm really pleased that Kian's on the show. He's a Goodwin fighter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, it makes sense if these guys want to get out and there's a show available, they want to get out. I mean, Kian wants to fight as much as possible, so it makes sense. I mean, that's what, you know, Robin Dupree will have to do. Who else have we got? We've got Andre Showtime Sterling, very exciting light heavyweight from South East London. Spoke to him the other day. He's got his first knockout in his last fight. He's going to get more and more knockouts, trust me. Great fighter, keep an eye on him. Who else have we got? We've got
Jeffy Ofori.
Jeffy Ofori, thank you very much for reminding me about that. King Jeffrey Ofori. He hates me doing that because that's not his name. His name's Jeffrey.
His name's Jeffrey?
His name's Jeffrey Ofori.
But why does he call himself Jeffy?
Because that's his nickname. It's short for Jeffrey.
Oh, right, Jeffrey
But he also
Ofori.
calls himself King Jeffrey Ofori.
Right.
But of course, King is a nickname and Jeffy is a nickname. And I did a whole thing in the interview where I pretended not to understand and kept calling him King Jeffrey Ofori.
What I'm a bit confused about is this little bit in the middle of your chin here. Just show that to the crowd. It just doesn't quite happen there, does it?
No, it doesn't happen here or here.
I mean, I can't say much. Do you know what I mean? My cat licks my face in the night, and that's how I have a shave. But anyway, so we've gone through quite a lot there. There's a lot of fighters.
There's about 20 fights on that show.
Anyway, where can we get tickets, mate?
Just look on the Hellraiser website. Each guy obviously sells their own tickets. That's how small hall fighting works. Small hall boxing works. They all have to sell a certain amount of tickets.
But random Jeff can go and get not random Jeffy Ofori, just random Jeff or Graham or Sandra. If they want to go and get a ticket, how much is a ticket?
It's £35 for the upper tier, which, as you know, is basically on top of the ring. There's no bad seat in the house. If you want to sit ringside, it's 60. That's good.
Do you know what though? People pay more money to sit ringside. Like, when I'm filming, I much prefer up in the stalls up there.
I quite like watching up in the stalls. If you get
much better angle.
When I went to the Katie Taylor fight and it was rammed, we were stood right at the back and we stood there for 5 hours. And when you've got a nearly 70-year-old dad with you who's got bad feet,
Your dad stood up as well.
Yeah.
So
the problem is, it was me worrying about him. Do you know what I mean?
They do oversell York Hall a little bit, don't they?
Well,
I mean, I don't mean the location. Like, oh my god, it's so good, when it's not. It is good. I mean, there's 500 seats and they sell 800 tickets.
More like 2,000. But yeah, I mean, look, there's not realistically a bad seat, even ringside. It's good.
It's brilliant. But if you're going to spend, I mean, for me, if I was like interested in boxing, if you've never been to a live boxing event, like, it's very different to watching on TV.
As a casual,
Like, a lot of casuals have never been to a live boxing event, and you should go. It is. I mean, a lot of people have been to live boxing, but it's white collar. And again, no disrespect to white collar, but it's on a different level to watching boxers. It's like when you go to watch a football match, you're only seeing one angle of a game when there's loads of other stuff going on, and you're watching professionals perfect their art. And when you do watch live boxing, the foot movement, the dodging, the weaving, it's unbelievable. And actually, somewhere like Hellraiser, again, Goodwin, like we mentioned, go and see, MTK, go and see some small hall boxing this year. It will completely change your opinion of the sport. It is a real athletic masterpiece, I think, that people don't give it credit for.
It absolutely is. I mean, obviously, I'm absolutely in love with the sport, and I love watching it live more than on TV. I won't go to the big events if I'm sat right at the back. I'll watch them on telly, but if I can get a reasonable seat, I'll see it live.
Well, it's worth. I mean, if you think you're going to go to the theatre's what, more than
50,
that? 60 quid, and it's 2 hours. These are like 4 or 5 hour events. You
can come in and out. You can have a drink.
You can have a beer. It's a good night out.
Yeah, totally agree. Obviously.
Well, yeah.
And that starts February 10th, York Hall, Titanium. Massive show. Lots of very, very exciting, promising fighters coming through. www.hellraiserboxing.com.
Titanium, the show. Go watch
Titanium.
it. And again, just to point out, that's terrible. I don't actually get any money from you. He doesn't really get anything either from you going and watching one of these shows. It's genuinely me saying, go and watch some boxing.
I don't get paid any extra the more people that go to see it.
Anyway, thanks for watching. I've been Marcus J. Richardson.
And I've been Adam Thorn.
Until next time.